I think we're actually burying the lead. Hey, OC, how did you know that Parsons was going to be able to rush the passer as well as he did? You're the only person I've ever seen to ever say that Micah Parsons could be a put his hand down guy. So I need that question answered.
The OC.
And boss show me. Man, it's coming out. It's coming out. Some things are chain reactions, man. I figured out how to finally explain it.
Like, we must have got a guard. That's the only thing that would have made him do that. That's it.
He know.
He know. Cause he been watching Twitter, man.
So, Dianna, she came out and she had a report about the Cowboys being open for business. And one of these GMs said running back should be their top priority.
Reefer, my reefer with Henny and Coke. Please don't be stingy, got plenty to smoke. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Seem like they doing the most for the clout. Did what I said so they know what I'm about. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what
Let's
I
go.
live.
Boss, show me.
Man, I will. Cause I gave it thought. I really did. I gave it some thought. And I finally figured out how to really get us all to kind of come together. To stop the war and have world peace.
Shot it. Fight for, see, that's how to go out. Don't go out, just sit back. I'm gonna take Matthew Golden. No, fight for it. You want it physical. You said you want it physical. Fight for it.
Man, fight for it. Fight for it. Fight for it. Fight for it. Let's go. Shoot, man. Your boy boss is giving you that overtime.
Oh my God.
Somebody else said
It's
It is.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters.
Today's stream is brought to you by Sleeper Out. Go for a Hail Mary on Sleeper Picks and win up to 100 times your money. Use promo code BCS. And Sleeper will 100% match your first deposit up to $100 instantly. Yeah. So, listen, y'all. I'm always trying to improve. Most of us always should be trying to improve. Even when you feel like you kind of doing it good, it's sometimes ways you can do it better. And because obviously I've been beating the ground for running back being one of our top needs right now, and it's been met with a lot of opposition, right? Rightfully so, because our defenses seem like it's bleeding out, right? So when you talk like that, a lot of people go be like, boss, what are you talking about, right? I had somebody come in here, man, and he said, I used to like you, man. I used to like you because it looked like you was always intentionally trying to go against the grain. He said, but the more I listen to you, the more I start seeing that you really would document and kind of make cases that I would come around to. And now you are my favorite channel. And I understand that because sometimes I need to do a better job. So I was cooking for my sons yesterday. I was just cooking, man. I was frying some chicken, man. Doing some potatoes, and it was late too. It was late. And I kept thinking, like, what's a better way to explain it? What's a better way to explain it? Right? Just thinking to myself, what's a better way to explain? Because I kept calling running back a domino position. But the more I thought about it, I said, that's not clear, man. That's not clear. When you saying it's a domino, but you what? What does that mean? And then it hit me that what you really saying, because this is what I was saying, but I wasn't clear enough. What I'm saying is running back is a chain reaction position. That's a much clearer way to explain how even focusing on a top tier running back room could even affect your defense. You got to explain to people that's a chain reaction. And then I wake up and I see Dianna Russini with the report. So most people go kind of focus on the part that she said, the A part, which the Cowboys been putting out fillers, right? The Cowboys have let the league know they are open for business, meaning they are looking to potentially make some trades. They are looking for defensive help. But one GM argued they actually should go get a running back. And so that goes to tell you that, and this is what I said, and I mean this channel is not a casual channel. We don't have or do casual content. We talk in dimensions here. That's why I call the people that really love this channel executives. They are the type of people that Lou said, we all have to learn to look at the whole chessboard. And I was like, damn, boy, that boy say he has some good metaphors. And so this is about looking at the whole chessboard. So partially what happened is yesterday, I started thinking about it when I was explaining the chain reaction that happened from the acquisition of Amari. Okay. So from the acquisition of Amari, there was a chain reaction. Okay. That one piece affected a bunch of pieces. That one thing affected a lot of things. It was a chain reaction. And so, and I'm telling you, when I look at football, and when some people look at football, they look at it from a chessboard. And some people don't. It would be in our best interest to get that muscle developed, that brain muscle developed, to actually start looking at the game from the whole chessboard. So when you read Bullet 2, I said that's why I say my channel is for executives and bosses. I don't do casual content. The room that gives the biggest compliments to other positions and helps the overall Cowboys the most is hashtag and RB1 duo. Because I'm actually thinking in chain reaction. What's going to give you the most chain reaction? So when you go back to Amari, what was the chain reaction from the acquisition? See, when most people look at receiver, they was looking at receiver like we just got a better receiver. But if you look at the chain reaction, you'll see that receiver help your running back, your quarterback, your offensive line. It helped that too, because it's an overall chain reaction. One domino affects the next one. And if we trying to build a team, and if we trying to put ideas out here, in my opinion, you should go for those positions that give you the most chain reactions. And I think one of the things that gave me an advantage of thinking like that is I took a challenge. I challenged myself to write 4 books in the offseason. I've never written a book, but I challenged myself to actually write 4 books. I committed to 4 books, and I wrote the whole books about how to build the Dallas Cowboys every year and what they should be focusing on. And every one of them books got 5 stars. Every one of them. Every one. And it's literally a lot of players from the Dallas Cowboys that I picked from free agents and draft picks that was acquired by the Dallas Cowboys. Players we currently have. A bunch of sleepers. Bland was I'm talking about late rounders we picked. But the reason why I'm showing this is not to brag. I honestly believe me taking on this assignment helped build my muscle a little bit. It helped me see chain reaction positions maybe better than most, because it forced me to have to think in dimensions, bro. Just keeping it real. You know, it forced me, when I committed to that assignment, it forced me to look at positions and how they affect each other. So positions like Amari made me understand that when you got Amari, that helped Dak, because now Dak could get the ball out faster because he had a weapon that was winning on routes at an elite level and fast. So it helped his passing rating. Versus when it was receiver by committee, they had the lowest separation in the league, and it affected his passing rating because he will obviously have to hold the ball. He could be throwing in tighter windows. It was a chain reaction from not having the right weapon. But then the other beneficiary of Amari was Zeke. How did Zeke benefit from a weapon? That don't make sense. Yes, it does. If you think about it from a chain reaction. What's the chain reaction? The chain reaction is when you got a threat out there that was a number 1. When you got a real threat, that's a number 1. When you at first had receiver by committee, you didn't have to have the best secondary to stop them. So you could say, let's put this average secondary on the average receiver crew and we go be okay. And let's go after the number 1 threat at the time, young Zeke. Let's stack the box. But when you get you a weapon like Amari, the chain reaction was, I can no longer do that. Because if I put that average ass secondary on a top tier receiver, they go scorch our ass. Amari was the type of receiver that was so dangerous. If you slipped, he could take it to the house. One slip and it could be touchdown. So that means defenses had to adjust their strategy, which caused them to have a chain reaction to not be as aggressive on trying to stop Zeke. Hence, a better average for Zeke. So, I wanted to do a better job myself. I blame me. I do. Because when you trying to build an army of people to lobby for what's best for the Cowboys and unite and come together like a fist, to really push ideas into the atmosphere, I got to do a better job. So that's why I was thinking last night. I promise you, I was sitting there, I was cooking. I was like, man, it got to be a better way to explain it than just saying a domino position. And that's when that chain reaction, because I think people go understand that better as a metaphor. They go understand this is what Boss is saying when he is sometimes pushing for stuff that might seem outside the norm. He's in his mind, he's not just thinking about Booker. See, in the offseason, when we was having that fight on weapons versus trenches, I was thinking a chain reaction of Booker. And remember, I said Booker is a weapon too. And people was like, huh? What you mean? He's a weapon, boss. See, we was thinking that only the way to have offensive power was through somebody catching the ball. I was like, no. And I went back and I showed how DeMarco Murray increased by 700 yards with the acquisition of Zach Martin. So let's go ahead and start kind of thinking about it now. And why was I one of the ones that was never panicking with the talent of the running back room? At first, this is what I was saying. And I did this in the offseason. I said offensive line is going to make the running backs look way better. That's why I said they're the savior to the running back room. That's why I never was tripping on Williams as RB1. Because I saw the history of what happened when the weapon of Zach Martin was allocated. How it took an old knock-knee McFadden and had him looking like, oh my. That's also why I'm wise enough, because I'm thinking in chain reactions, not to overvalue Williams, because I'm looking at it in balance. I'm looking at the chain reaction of a Clayton Adams mixed with a upgraded offensive line that I predicted was going to happen. So I'm not going to be in the household of let's overpay for the running back. It's like, I see the value, I see the fit, but I'm also balanced enough in my analysis to say we can do better. And it's no insult to him. He's doing great. But we could consider, just like the GM argued, they actually go for a running back. So we talking about a better running back room, because obviously he ain't talking about Williams. He's talking about having a room that basically they are an onslaught. So meaning when Williams have to check out the game, the guy that comes in after him keeps pounding. It doesn't stop. It's just unrelenting. And if people would listen to what I'm saying, they would really understand what I'm saying is I'm trying to get us to set off a chain reaction. That's what I want. I want a chain reaction. So I don't honestly think I can actually explain it no better. And it's at this point to where people that's not listening probably just stubborn. And this is also why I pinned it. I pinned it because I really see this as a solution. And I said again, running back is a position that helps 6 items. So making it more clear, it creates 6 chain reactions. 6. The most important one is Dak. If you're concerned about Dak trending up in his injuries, then aggressively go after the position that limits pass rush. Because you got to say, that's the chain reaction of a better running back room. It's more protection for Dak. This is why a GM agrees with me. Because it's the GM's job to actually look at the whole chessboard. And that's why he said this GM actually argued they need another back. They need to be Gibbs Montgomery. But boss, they have blue. It's like, oh my God. We not taking it serious enough, y'all. We not. And I'm just being honest, man. We are not taking it serious enough. And I talked about this before. I'm going to talk about it again. The 6, and I'm going to start coining it like this going forward. The chain reactions that get set off with an upgraded running back room is, number 1, you help your defense. And then my boy Todd Church say the Cowboys quit on blue. I'm going to be honest with you. They never wanted him. Not the Cowboys, them coaches. So this happens sometimes. It does happen where front office will have a vision, coaches will have a vision. Now you got division. You got 2 different visions. And I honestly believe that's what's happening. That's happened to a lot of teams. The where front office have a vision and the coaches will be like, that ain't, I don't cook that. I don't cook it. My boy Tacho said, I know. I'm with you, bro. Cause I know you with me. I just want to better explain it. But going back to the chain reactions, right? So if we go back to the chain reactions, the defense is one chain reaction from a superior running back room. And I know, and they called up Malik Davis, and I'm like, bro, we can do better than that, bro. We can, bro. We can. See, most people trying to think good. I'm thinking, man, make us scary in that backfield, man. Make us scary, not just, that's good. It's like, no, bro. If you go get somebody like a Chubb, he won't even cost you shit. But he's like a perfect fit for Shoddy. He was a back that Shoddy coached under Georgia. Power and fast. Somebody that come in and that'll be a home run compliment and cheap to Williams. And that's the worst thing I hate about even debating is people be fighting and I be like, bro, why y'all fighting? And we ain't talking about spending nothing major. Hell yeah, F them picks, bro. This gonna cost a late round pick, bro. If you want to go get Chubb, bro, that's gonna be a late round pick, bro. Kamaru would be a late round pick, bro. We talking about 5th round, 6th round pick, and we got Cowboy fans hoarding it. Like, oh no, keep the pick, boss. We need that pick. Like, what? Bro, we've been striking out, man. We've been striking out in the draft, bro. Man, you might as well improve your team, bro, right now. What we talking about? See, we ain't talking about one of them first, bro. We ain't talking about a second. We talking about a 5th to make your running back room scary as hell right now. I'm talking about scary as fuck. So just imagine having basically like 2 Williams. See, you got to look at the chain reaction, man. You got to think about it. And Chubb is a Williams, but faster. See, that's what people. No, we got the best. No, y'all not thinking in chain reactions. You thinking in checkers. You got to think about why is Williams looking all of a sudden way better than he's ever did? Why did Williams get bottled up this last game? Because the chain reaction was fucked up. The offensive line wasn't blocking like they was the other games. So guess what? Williams didn't look the same, did it? It was a chain reaction. When they lost, he lost. It was a chain reaction. Yeah. So, but these shifts said, man, trade that 2nd and a 1st and improve this defense, bro. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. F them picks, bro. And see, some people out there talking about, man, we trying to rent a position. No, we not, bro. It's a such thing as being able to make a trade and sign. It's called trade and sign, bro. Everything ain't just checkers, bro. You can trade for a player and sign them. We could have did that with Amari. We could have traded for him and signed him. So were we basically locking up a good player for the next 3 to 4 years? So F them picks don't always mean rental. Yeah, man. Come on, man. We gotta do better. We gotta think better. We gotta even debate better, bro. We be like, bro, y'all be putting shit in our mouth we ain't even saying. Ain't nobody out here pushing for just straight rentals. The smart people trying to have assets that can help us as a contention team, not just this year, for the next 2 to 3 years, while Dak is at his best. F them picks. I stand on that. It makes sense. And this is the worst part. Everybody that got counter arguments, they never will face me in an arena. I swear that be tripping me out. It be like, damn, y'all talk real spicy on Twitter. You talk real spicy when you're on the mic, but you never sit down across from me and be cross-examined. You never will. They never will say, hey man, let me call in and challenge boss on that. They don't do that. Even when I invite them. That's how you know most of this stuff is clout. It's for attention. It's for growth. It ain't just pure. It's not trying to win. It's not like what we did in the offseason when it was weapons versus trenches. That was a righteous fight. That was a fight for righteousness. And then this is the worst part. Both sides was right the entire time. Team weapons was right and team trenches was right because we actually had both needs. And we was fighting over the priority at 12 and how to handle 12. But it was righteous. That's why everybody was willing to face each other on and fight to the death. Star, man, shit, boy, that Star, Landlord, Henning, boy, that was a hard ass fight. It was. But see, I respect them because they would show up. They'll be like, boss, I disagree with you. And they would show up like, let's go. Like Tuck right now, when we disagree, he'll say, send a link, bro. Send a link. All right. You know, even BJ, I was in the space yesterday. He said, hold on, bro. Let's box. I'm like, box on what? He was like, hey, I don't agree with, I think we go do better with our digs. I was like, well, yeah, we go box on that. And we start boxing. But see, at least he willing to box. And he let everybody know. He say, listen, it's gonna be some blood. Don't start tripping. And I was like, oh yeah, I ain't tripping. But he was telling everybody that was listening, me and boss getting ready to box because I disagree with him on something. We getting ready to box. And I was like, yeah, well, let's box. And we boxed, you know. Best idea win. That's how it worked. Like we would go back and forth, and then if he makes some good ass points, I'm a submit. I'm be like, yeah, I can't counter that, bro. Yeah, I tap out. You won that one. You know what I mean? Or if I'm tapping them out, I'm gonna try to because I'm fighting for the idea. I'm fighting for what I believe is best. That's why I respect so many people, man, right now, man, like my boy Devon and True Cowboy Talk. I respect the fuck out them boys. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because they fought the hell out of me on running back. I mean, to blood. I'm like, they boxing hard. But the more we kept going back and forth, the Cowboys was first, so they came around and they was like, boss, nah, I feel you, bro. You know? Because it wasn't about them, it was about the Cowboys. So they had a righteous disagreement. It wasn't about no ego, it was righteous. Chris 214 with the super chat. He said, Chris 214 said, I love your channel because with debates, I can't see what that last word say. Respect. Yeah. Absolutely. Nothing but respect. But just kind of going into the chain reaction, man, and I'm almost finished. This ain't gonna be no long show. I first want to explain that I need to do better. Like, I need to do better at explaining stuff because, people that know me say, boss, if he going against the grain, he's seeing something. He likely seeing something, and he trying to catch us up to what he's seeing. He not just trying to be contrary to what's popular. He's seeing a risk, and he loves the Cowboys enough to go against what's popular right now. Because, see, people need to know it's always in our business interest to go with the crowd. Think about that. It's always in our business interest to go with the algorithm. So if blue is popular, if I want to grow faster, push blue. The algorithm right now hate digs. It's popular to be anti-digs right now. But that ain't the right thing to do if it's gonna hurt your team, because I'm actually thinking in chain reactions. What's the chain reaction? So let me change the vibe, talk about it just a little bit more. Make the case just a little bit more. So when I was in the entrepreneurship program, this is not by being smarter or nothing like that. One of my professors said, and I never forgot it, and I began to do what they told me. He said the hardest thing is to teach people how to think, right? And he said, as an entrepreneur, one of the most important muscles in your brain is going to be how to see the future before it happens. He said, so I've developed some things to help sharpen that muscle, that anticipation muscle, where you can kind of see it before it happens, because that's how you execute as an entrepreneur. He said it's like riding a wave. He said you got to see that wave coming before it hit the shore. So when you out there looking and you trying to figure out, is it time to ride a wave, you looking out there in the sea and you seeing it way back there, and you see one of them do that. So you say, that's it. And you start paddling because you saw that wave way back there, right? And you trying to get to it before it get to the shore so you can ride it. That's how entrepreneurship is. You trying to get in front of the opportunity, right? So he was like, you got to build that muscle. He said, so this is how you build that muscle. And this is why I think I see some things that some people might not see. And I jump on a wave early, right? And he said, these are things that'll help you build that muscle. He said, when you driving, he said, never just look at the car in front of you. He said, practice looking about 5, sometimes 10 cars ahead, anticipating what's getting ready to happen. He said, it's going to help you think like that. You go start thinking like that natural. And I still do that to this day. Like, I'll be driving and I see an accident way up there, because I'm not just tunnel vision looking at the car in front of me. I'm looking ahead, right? Oh, shit, I get off. Be like, why you get off? Then all of a sudden it's backed up. Traffic is back and I'm passing it. Why? I've been using what my professor taught me to look ahead. That's the same thing. And that's the same thing when it comes down to chain reactions. A lot of people, in my opinion, miss it and think I'm talking crazy because they're not looking at what's ahead of that decision. Let me give you some examples of that. Okay, let me give you some examples. So it's not even just personnel, right? This is where I don't like stat nerds. So you get somebody that's basically, looking at how well cornerbacks have done preventing separation on all routes and their grade at the catch point, right? So you grading routes and their grade at the catch point. And so then here come one of them stupid ass colorful charts, and you got Trayvon Diggs way down here, right? So then people will look at that and be like, oh, see, he's one of the worst corners. See, this is where you're not looking ahead at that traffic. And you gotta be able to look at the chain reaction. What's the chain reaction of the way and the system that he's been in? And I told y'all stats nerds are destroying common sense football. We are now doing colorful charts to show separation on cornerbacks and leaving out the high percentage of zone plays called. But this will be used as a weapon for or against players. That's why the Dallas Cowboys on the running game, they got a similar colorful chart where you'll see the Dallas Cowboys way over here, right? And you'll say, that means Williams is such a baller. Williams. But you're not thinking about the chain reaction. You're not thinking about the superior scheme of Clayton Adams, the multiple attacks from Brian Schottenheimer, the looks that makes the pass look like the run and the run look like the pass, the deception, the upgrade of the offensive line. But what we'll do is, because we're not looking at them cars ahead or that car, we ain't looking at the whole thing. We're not looking at the chain reaction. We'll then take all that and put it on Williams. Give you another example. So you looking at like what's going on with Diggs, right? The G-Bag Net is ready to move on from Trayvon Diggs. Are you? I get the feeling this is a player who doesn't totally want to be here. He just doesn't look like the same guy right now. And see, once again, a lack of looking at the chain reaction. It's just a lack of looking at the chain reaction. So if you don't look at the chain reaction, then you go be having the wrong expectations. So why would you expect a guy that's coming off a fresh grafted surgery that's supposed to take a year to 8 months to recover from, and he recovered from it in record time? Why would you expect a guy that had no training camp to just look just like what he was when he was at his best? So then we get lazy in our opinions and we say, well, let's just get rid of them. Which then sets off another dumb chain reaction. Because we're not thinking it through. We're not thinking about how one domino affects the next. And so if we looking at this in its full context, let's look at everything. The owner took a dig at Diggs to start training camp. The fans taking digs at Diggs over surface body language clues. The DC took a dig at Diggs over a compliment to pass rush. He was literally complimenting the pass rush from the Jets, and he got slammed for nothing. All while Diggs had a miracle rehab, meaning he bust his ass to be ahead of the clock. Do y'all realize Diggs ain't even supposed to be playing until November, December? according to the normal schedule of his recovery. So instead of calling him a warrior, instead of saying, yeah, it's expected for him. He missed the whole training camp, man. Let's give him about 6 games to get his legs back. People, he not the same. He not the same. He not the same. Of course he not the same. See, that's why I said at the very beginning of the season, I said it first. I said, bro, we need to give Diggs at least 6 games, bro. The dude that had no training camp, bro. Yeah, it's gonna be a chain reaction, bro. He coming back early from injury. It's the same shit we did on Steele. Steele came back early and we was like, he washed. He ain't shit. He ain't shit. It's like, bro, goddamn, he came back early from his knee was broken in 3 places. Goddamn. What's the chain reaction from that? God damn, man. So if people did a better job at chain reaction, they wouldn't fall for this shit. Because look, the Cowboy fans we are truly the best at self-sabotage. Because we don't look at things in terms of what's going to be the chain reaction from the shit that we be lobbying for. We lobby for the worst stuff and then be thinking it's smart because we don't look at what's going to be the next domino to fall. We don't say what's going to happen from what I'm pushing for right now. All the people that's pushing for let's get rid of Diggs. What's did y'all think about what's behind that? All the people that fuck Micah. We don't need Micah podcast ass. Did you think about what's behind that? Did you think about what's gonna be the next domino to fall if you lose that? Did you look at the whole chessboard or did you? Or was it just, did we look at the chain reaction, bro? One of the homies, bless his heart, my boy Wedge Buster. I be like, damn, bro. Like, my boy Wedge Buster, I swear, man. He is always for like, off with the head with our best ass. I'm gonna be so happy. He put it out the other day. I'm gonna be so happy when we end Trayvon Diggs and Micah Parsons. I can't wait till that arrow's over. And I was like, bro, you was like that with Amari. God damn. You don't see how that hurt us? See, you got to think about the chain reaction. I hate this. He lost a step. He ain't worth all that money. Give me Hearn. See, oh my God. Did you actually think about that shit, dog? The fuck we thinking? I hate Das. Das, he's not what he used to be, but he's still better than everything you got. Did you actually think about the chain reaction, dog? I hate Amari. He only shows up in home games. I can't stand him. He's always banged up. He's always, yo, you know I was gonna say Zeke. I left Zeke ass off this though. Cause Zeke went through this one. Oh my God, don't even get me started on how Zeke went through this shit. I hate Amari. Give me Gallup coming off. See, most people, they stop with the A part. I hate Amari. I can't stand his ass. Shit. Trade him. And then Jerry and them get rid of him for a fit. And what? But they don't think about the chain reaction. You hated Amari, but then they left you with Gallup coming off a fresh ACL surgery. Did you think about that? Did y'all think about that? Did you think about that? Yeah, Devon. Yeah, it is programming, bro. It is. A lot of the fans are programmed, bro. That's true. I know that's true. That's just honest as hell. Honest as hell, it's programming. Just not thinking about the react. Like, so what that means is now your team is worse. A lot of us are lobbying to make our team worse. We are literally pushing to make our team worse. And it be an army of Cowboy fans doing this shit, an army, and some content creators. They be like taking victory laps and shit. I told you by Diggs. I told you. Okay, well, let's talk about what's gonna be the after result if we say, all right, let's just say fuck Diggs. Then what? So the only thing we focusing on is the Diggs not what he used to be. Diggs not what he used to be. Diggs not what he used to be. But what's the chain reaction without him though? See, we did that same shit with Dez. It was the same goofy ass shit. Dez ain't no route runner, and we always focus on shit that never was a major thing in the first place. It's like, no, Dez might not have been the best route runner, but he is absolutely the best receiver in history at contested balls, at catching at the point of attack. It ain't nobody in history better than Dez. Dez is the touchdown leader for your Dallas Cowboys for a reason, because when that ball in the air, nobody came down with it better in the history of football than Dez. But what did we focus on? What he didn't do. We didn't focus on what he did at an absolute Hall of Fame elite level. The same thing, Diggs and the tackling. What about Diggs and the ball skills? The fuck y'all be talking about? And if I did a poll and I said, which one is more important for corner, tackling or covering? Which one would you say I absolutely I have to have out of you? If I had to pick one, I'm gonna say the guy that's coming down with the ball from coverage. I hate podcast pauses. We was always sneak dissing them. Had podcast pauses. Bro, do you know your history, bro? Did you look at the 90s, bro? Did you look at the type of stuff they was doing, bro? The White House and people getting stabbed in the neck and all of that. And Charles Haley beat up one of the trainers. Beat him up. Threw a helmet at Jerry's head. And what was we worried about? Podcasts. Parsons. And then we'll say, I hate Parsons. Give me Donovan Ezerako. See, did y'all think about that? Did y'all really think about that? See, now people want to do the stat nerd shit. Micah only got this many sacks. See, you got to think about the whole impact. You got to think about the whole chain reaction. It was a reason why when Micah was on the field, your defense was number one in DVOA. And when he off the field, they dead last. Where your defense now? Where your defense now? Where they rank now? They last, ain't they? But people still tell you with a straight face that Micah didn't make no difference. Even if Micah didn't make a play, he made a difference. Why? It was the chain reaction of him being on the field. And see, people got to start looking at this in chain reactions and not these surface stats. You got to look at the chain reaction. The chain reaction is when you had a Micah on the field, defenses had to always shift their protections to him. And that's what made Zimmer genius, because when Zimmer saw it, what he would do is set up, let's say he would set up Micah to the right, and he would then send blitzes from the left. Because he understood it's going to be a chain reaction of even having him on the field. But we over here, I hate the podcast. We have to become the type of people that understand chain reaction positions. Same thing. I hate Diggs. We would do better with Elam and Reddy. Oh my God. There is truly nobody better at shooting their own self in the face than Cowboy fans. I swear, bro. We the best, bro. We man. I hate admiring. You end up with Gallup. You hate Dez, you end up with Hearns. You hate Parsons, you end up with Donovan Ezaraku. You hate Diggs, you end up with Elam and Reddy. So this is why I fight back at the people that stat nerd stuff all the time, bro. They just do it way too much. Be like, wait, bro. We ain't gonna do that, bro. We gonna have to think in dimensions, bro. We gonna have to think about what's gonna be the result of this lobby, this hate Micah lobby. What's gonna be the result to my team? What's gonna be the result when people do videos taking a victory lap about the concussions of Diggs, saying I was right? The fuck? What we talking about? We taking victory laps over a concussion, which might not even be true, especially with the way your front office has a history of lies. We just go with that? You want to be right that bad? What we doing? You gonna sabotage your team to be right? To be able to do a video and say, I told you, it's gonna come to pass. The fuck we doing? Will you really think about the chain reaction of lobbying for the shit we lobby for? So, this is what I want to say. We already talked about some exercises that can help us with our ability to be able to look at chain reactions, right? So I want to be specific on certain positions that are chain reaction positions. Okay. So let's talk about this. What are certain positions that are chain reaction positions? And if we get good at this, what'll happen is we'll never look at one. We'll look at one and how it affects the other. Because that's me writing them books. That's what kind of sharpened that muscle in me. How does one position affects the other? So let's just talk through it. We gonna do this together as an exercise. If you get a guard, what does that affect? If you get a center, what does that mostly affect? Let's start thinking about it. What's the chain reaction of an acquisition of a guard and a center? If you get a guard or center, and I'm thinking about the chain reaction to that, the first thing I'm gonna say, if they are a high level guard or center, the first thing is gonna help is that middle. So if it's helping that middle, who is it helping? It's helping that quarterback. It's helping that quarterback because now people not getting pushed where he needs to step up in the pocket. But it's also helping your running backs. Because if you got an upgraded center and an upgraded guard, you gonna have better rushing lanes, which mean as a chain reaction, you gonna have a better running game. So the acquisition of a center and a guard is not just something we should ever look at in a vacuum again. We should know that's gonna help my quarterback. That's gonna also help what? My running back. Which then, lastly, is gonna help your receiver. That's the chain reaction of those positions. What is the chain reaction of corner? What's the chain reaction of corner? not just the corner. Who does it help? What's the chain reaction of corner? The chain reaction of corner is edge. If you have somebody trying to get sacks, good corners help them get that. That's why I am totally against all the people that saying, if we trying to get Trey Henderson, let's trade Diggs. Why would you get rid of a position that complements the other? That's like having broccoli with no cheese. That's having a cheeseburger without cheese. No. If I'm trying to get something to make my defense better, I don't want to trade away a ball hawking corner. No, I want that with my burger. I want Trey Henderson to get more pressure so it can help my corner get more interceptions. They complement each other. Yeah. So, yeah, my boy Hen in the house, he said ham, no burger. Man, exactly, bro. Yeah, safety and edge. I agree with that too, Henny. Some of these cereal, no milk, man. Say cereal, no milk. You out there got cereal, no damn milk. And see, this is why some people be thinking I'm contrary, because I'm thinking of it. I'm thinking of it in the chain reaction. Some people looking at it just that position by itself. It's like, no, bro, no. Me writing them books, I'm telling you, what it did is it made me start I start thinking that stuff different, bro. I'm telling you, when you write books on how to build a team, bro, and you got to really think through all the details, and you do it 4 years in a row, your mind, I promise you, is going to change. Going to college don't make people smarter. It don't. But it does change your brain. It does. Yeah. Yeah. What happens is when you go to college, you become in a routine of hitting deadlines. It changes you. It's not that you smart. It's a whole lot of people, bro, that ain't go to no college that's way smarter than people it's some dumbass people that got degrees and some people with no degrees that's smart as hell. But you should be different from college. That's what I'm saying is, what are we gonna do to think different? What are we gonna do to start recognize the chain reaction so we can stop trolling good ideas like a running back helping a team? Because see, when I say running back, people thinking offense. How much better do you want your offense to be? It's like, that's the problem. You thinking offense, I'm thinking team, goofy. I'm thinking a chain reaction to the team. I'm thinking a chain reaction to my quarterback. I'm thinking a chain reaction to even a dude that you trying to protect. So what's going to be the chain reaction of another running back? Another running back is going to protect the one you say you love the most. But some of y'all really don't love Williams. You don't love Williams like you say, because if you really love Williams, you would want another running back so that you can take some load off his ass and make sure he's fresh in December. You don't love Williams. You want to be right. You want to win an argument. You don't care about your Cowboys. You care about your ego. You care about trying to look right in the public. Who want to debate against boss? And it's about who I want to go against the running back crew. I want to go against them, the hashtag crew. I don't agree with the hashtag crew. Man, shut your whole ass up, bro. It ain't got nothing to do with no hashtag crew. That's why I blocked Crump, bro. I blocked the shit out that whole ass. The moment I saw he was trying to get clout, I was like, man, I ain't dealing with no dude trying to get no clout. I'm over here I'm having a real serious discussion on how to win, and people over here, the hashtag crew, the hashtag. They think they over there, they're trying to be. And I got all kind of evidence that I saw this coming. And see, hold on real quick. See, this is a perfect example. You got one of these fans that's, they don't get it, bro. They don't get it. Like he sees, why y'all talking offense, defense retarded? You see, and they come in hostile. How you come in dumb and wrong? See, that's what be tripping me out. They come in dumb and wrong. The people that talk the most shit are the people the stupidest. Like, for real. Like, I give all the dominoes that fall. I make a clear chain reaction case, and they come in, why you talking offense? Why y'all talking offense, defense retarded? See? Yeah. This dude named Gady Dunley is exactly the problem. That shallow thinking who can't understand people that's talking in chain reactions. People that's looking at the whole chessboard. And they just one dimensional, so they come in like you stupid, but they stupid. They come in and troll you. And they stupid as hell. And troll you. It's like, bruh, I wouldn't have charged you up if you wouldn't have charged us up. If you would have came and said, I don't understand why y'all talking about offense when it looked like we need defense. You know what I would have said? Good question. Let me explain. This is a reason why a GM is arguing that the Cowboys need a running back. Yeah. Now you came in fly though, bruh. You did come in fly. That's my whole point. People be coming in fly as hell. My boy M say, you coming in church late and you loud? Exactly, bro. Man, nah, y'all need to learn some decorum. And that's why I told people, I say, man, shit, I'm an asshole, bro. I am. If you come in an asshole, I'm gonna be twice the asshole. But if you come in with some respect, I'm gonna be respectful. I'm gonna be like, hey, nah, we see it different, but let me explain. And maybe after I explain, maybe you might come around to where I'm saying. Maybe you don't. But that's okay. At least we handled it with some class and some respect. Because that's why I'm doing this whole show about us learning how to think about chain reactions. What's gonna be the result of getting rid of Diggs? Not just let's get rid of him. He's not happy. Okay, that's the A part. What about the B part? Let's get rid of Michael Podcast. Okay, that's the A part. But what about the B part? Is your team better now? I know you feel better because he was a distraction. Okay, all right. But what's the reaction in terms of, is your team better? So let me explain this one more time in terms of chain reaction. This is why Dianna Russini said that a GM argued they actually should go get a running back, because the position that gives you the most chain reactions is running back, especially when it's tied to a already rebuilt offensive line. Let me say that again. When you put a running back and you put a running back room behind an offensive line that's already built, it's going to give you the most chain reactions. That's exactly why I was saying Booker is the final piece. If you put Booker in here, Booker is going to automatically make that whole room better because he was the final piece of an already rebuilt offensive line. And I was saying it before the season when everybody was shitting on the running back room. But then when it took off, everybody started showing me colorful charts. Hey, look at the charts. Look at the charts. Weebs, look at the charts. How much better do you want the offense to be? It's like, no, bro. If I was telling you that this was going to happen beforehand, shouldn't you trust me? Because how many people was out here saying, and I got the evidence, documented video where I made the whole case that McFadden, Murray, Randall, all of their averages was high as hell behind a rebuilt offensive line. So when I tell you, okay, now you got the final piece for your offensive line, get the final piece for your team. Get that running back room dope as hell. Because if you do, it can help a bad defense with time of possession, keeping them rested, because that's going to be the chain reaction. So for all the people, we need defense. I'm trying to help our defense, bro. You can help your defense in multiple ways. You can obviously get better talent, but you can also help them by resting them. Why do you think they rest players like Kobe and Jordan before the fourth quarter? Why is it strategically smart in basketball to sit your star before the final runs? Because rest makes you better. It makes you sharper. Lombardi say, fatigue make cowards of us all. So if I'm looking at chain reaction and talking chain reaction football, so listen, I can't be no clear. This is as clear as I'm gonna ever be. Going forward, when I explain this, I'm gonna always talk about chain reactions. No more talk about dominoes. It's always gonna be chain reaction. And this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna also pressure y'all to do the same. I'm gonna pressure you to stop thinking in checkers and start looking at the chessboard as a whole. Start looking at what is going to be the chain reaction from these decisions. Stop looking at the stuff all surface like Diggs don't seem like he happy. Okay, what was the chain reaction? How would you feel if your boss, the first day you walked into work, start talking about you? What was the chain reaction from that? What's the chain reaction of Eberflus taking a shot at him for nothing? Oh, his body language supposed to be upbeat. See, we need to start looking at things. What was the chain reaction? What's the chain reaction of him not being here in training camp? And when should we expect him to be at his best so we can have realistic expectation? What's going to be the chain reaction if we lose Micah? What's the chain reaction? How is one domino going to affect the other one? So we can stop being surface, mean, unrealistic fans. What's going to be the chain reaction? Okay, Diggs is not what he used to be, but is he still better than the other corners? Yes. Okay, so that means the chain reaction of losing him means you're worse. Let's do better, Cowboy Nation. Let's listen better. Let's respect each other better. I'm sick of checking some of y'all, man. Because I promise you, I match energy. If you come in and you say, I disagree, boss, I disagree. See, my boy CJ, me and him disagreed. But guess what? He did it in a way, I don't feel you on that. That's how CJ goes. He said, I don't feel you on that, boss. I don't feel you on that. But then guess what? Me and CJ will talk it out. Well, this is why I'm saying what I'm saying, CJ. He'll say, but boss, but then, but yeah, you made a good point right there. But man, but in the end, we shake hands, bro. But we need to stop these attacks and kills on our own people because we refuse to look at the chain reactions. We be getting wired up by the media and all kind of stuff. Now we got all these people talking about Diggs was pouting and crying, and then if you go actually read his quotes of what he said with Eberflus, it was completely respectable. I'm sick of Cowboy fans running off our best and sabotaging our own team, then being mad because we ain't been nowhere in 30 years. Well, it's our fault too. It ain't just Jerry. It's the fact that we attack our best consistently because we don't look at the chain reaction of losing Amari. I don't like Amari. He be playing banged up. His road games don't be consistent. And then your ass end up with Gallup coming off a bad knee. Then your ass end up with Donovan Ezeraku as a rookie. He gonna end up being something. He gonna be good in the future. But you stupid as hell if you thought he was gonna be a replacement right now. You was stupid as hell the whole time. And you didn't think of the chain reaction. You was just emotional. Let's off with the head. Off with the head. Zeke, he washed. Zeke was out there playing on one leg and still got 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. Y'all will be sucking up to Williams right now with that same result. Ooh, look at Williams. Let's do better, Cowboy Nation, for real. Let's start looking at chain reactions behind the decisions that we make. Real talk.